Main man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Let me just start off by stating this before I get to all the good stuff. And that is, I noticed by kind of looking at the numbers that this channel has been generating that I'm signing up a lot of people from the UK. I am signing up a lot of UK subscribers. So I want to say to all of the UK subscribers, welcome. Welcome, goddammit, welcome. I got nothing but love. I repeat, nothing but love and respect for the people of the United Kingdom. I really do. I even lived there temporarily for a moment. I lived in the Lakenheath area. You know what I mean? For those who don't know, that's roughly about an hour and a half outside of London. I lived there for a couple years where I got to learn the culture, where I got to learn a lot about the place, man. And let me just say, man, I had the time of my life while I was there. So, with that being said, to all of my new UK subscribers, a lot of y'all may not know my position on Anthony Joshua. And I have noticed in the past, whenever I go on my Anthony Joshua vids, I alienate a lot of y'all because y'all clearly don't like the way I speak on Anthony Joshua. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It won't change in this video. You know what I'm saying? And the reason that I say this, because at the end of the day, I respect the sport of boxing. I call out crap when I see crap, and I'm going to continuously call out the crap. Now, AJ, aka the other guy, according to Eddie Hearn in a recent interview, you know, he's been doing a lot of interviews lately because he has fighters that has fights upcoming. The next one I believe will be, I know he's doing the presses for the Tony Bellew versus David Haye rematch, and I'm really looking forward to that fight. But in his recent interviews, he's basically now alluding to the fact that the other guy in his next fight, if he makes it through Joseph Parker, which, you know, 99.9% of us believe that he will, when he gets through Joseph Parker, they're stating that, yo, he maybe want to line up a fight with Jerrell Big Baby Miller. Now, when I hear that, the first thing that flashes in my head like a Las Vegas sign is anybody but Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Anybody but Wilder. The man will fight, they will put AJ in there with everybody. Shit, he'll make him fight a referee for crying out loud. I mean, everybody. You know what I mean? Hell, you know what I mean? Like, but when it comes to Deontay Wilder, oh, we want to make that fight bigger. You know, we're not ready for that this year. We're not checking for that fight right now. It's next year. Man, Eddie Hearn is so full of crap that it don't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Now, first off, Eddie Hearn now promotes Jerrell Big Baby Miller. He is an American heavyweight from New York, for those who do not know. And, you know, we know that Eddie Hearn wants to splash into America with Anthony Joshua because, to my fellow UK fans, I don't know if a lot of y'all don't know, but Anthony Joshua may be larger than life in Europe. But over here in America, you know, he's just the dude with all the muscles. A lot of people don't know him. You know what I mean? And so Eddie Hearn is looking to basically infiltrate America with Anthony Joshua. And I think Jerrell Big Baby Miller is a way to do that. Now, he could be doing that. Or on the flip tip, Jerrell Big Baby Miller can use a popularity boost. So what's the best thing? You know, the oldest trick in the book by promoters is to attach a popular fighter's name to an event. You know, we seen Bob Arum just recently attach Manny Pacquiao to the Terrence Crawford versus Jeff Horn fight, because now that fight is now elevated from ESPN to ESPN pay-per-view, all because of Manny Pacquiao. You see where I'm going? So Manny Pacquiao gave that whole event a popularity boost, and promoters have been doing this for eons. You know what I'm saying? So that could be also a thing at play here. But also, if you take the man at his word, it could be real talk. You know what I mean? It could be Eddie Hearn keeping it 100 and speaking facts. He will try to make a AJ versus Jerrell Big Baby Miller fight. I mean, he have every incentive to do so. It helps both fighters on so many, you know, reasons that for the ones I just explained. You know what I mean? And It's just a win-win for Matchroom Boxing. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he may even throw Danny Jacobs on that card, who's also from the New York area. You know, there's a lot of uptick when it comes to Eddie Hearn putting on fights in New York and attaching the name of Anthony Joshua to Jerrell Big Baby Miller. So let's keep all of that in mind. Now, once again, with that being said, let's say if it's 100, let's say if it's real. Why is it, you know, that every time I turn around, Eddie Hearn is mentioning every heavyweight in the world with the exception of Deontay Wilder? You know, now I already understand the whole AJ, you know, project, like I pretty much exposed in my last video in which we spoke about AJ. And that was with Mr. Barry Hearn, the power behind the throne, the man of the men that really runs Matchroom Boxing. Barry Hearn, the father of Eddie Hearn, had let out the bag in that interview he just did recently that, hey, they're not ready for that fight this year. They ain't thinking about that fight this year. Mr. Barry Hearn stated he wanted that fight to grow bigger, running a major risk, you know, to either one of these fighters losing. But they want it to grow bigger, as if it's not already big. Trust and believe, you put that fight, especially after their next fights, if you put a Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua in any stadium in the world, it's sold out. No matter where you broadcast it from in the world, the pay-per-views will be awesome. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know how much more bigger do you want this thing to get? Well, then again, I stand corrected on that. Like I just told y'all earlier, AJ isn't the biggest of stars here in America. But, you know, that fight, the ripple effects from that fight, like, it's like throwing a rock in a pond. You get those ripple effects. The ripple effects would echo literally around the world. You know what I'm saying? They may need about a good 4-month press tour to go on, or something like 3-4 month press tour to go on. But that fight would echo literally around the world, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I do become overly critical of Eddie Hearn when it comes to this situation, but I do, from a promoter standpoint, understand what he's saying. Now, from a boxing fan standpoint, I can give a damn what he's saying. You know what I mean? And that is, yo, I want to see the best fights, you know, available to me today. You know why I want to see those fights? Because I'm paying for those fights. That's why. So, you know, the AJ project will just continue to troll right along, you know what I'm saying, until whenever they pull into the Deontay Wilder station. That I don't know when, but clearly they're going to keep chugging along, mentioning every heavyweight that they can think of until they eventually run out of options, run to a brick wall, I don't know, whatever the fuck, and then they finally make the Deontay Wilder versus AJ fight. You know, truth be told, Jerrell Big Baby Miller versus AJ isn't actually the worst fight in the world to make. And that's especially if Big Baby Miller gets through Johan Duhaupas with ease. Like, it's not the worst fight in the world. But at this point, where we have been waiting fight after fight after fight, you know what I'm saying? And we see that Eddie Hearn is putting up obstacle, excuse. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're tired of waiting. We're tired of waiting. You know, They bring AJ out of nowhere. You know, he comes in, they pay Charles Martin all this money to come and lay down his title, give his title up. Then they turn around and fight a 40-year-old coming off a loss after being inactive over a year, fighting for a title that this 40-year-old didn't even have, the WBA title. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, afterwards, Povetkin, Pulev mysteriously pulls out, and then they get a fighter in Carlos Takam on 2 weeks' notice. Like, something ain't right here. Then WBA, you know, Luis Ortiz was the mandatory to Anthony Joshua, mysteriously removed from the WBA after his drug allegations. You know what I mean? Now, the WBC reinstates him because they clearly believe Luis Ortiz's story when it came to the blood pressure medication, but the WBA mysteriously dropped him. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt in the past and state that since he's popped dirty in the past for the WBA, this is the reason that they may be cutting him off now. Like, yo, we're done with you. But that still doesn't make sense, especially since the WBC reinstated him. Why would the WBA kick him out when he's the mandatory to Anthony Joshua? You see where I'm going? Like, every way you look at this thing, it just looks funny. It looks fishy. If you are a true boxing fan and not a fan boy, you will understand exactly where I'm coming from. You will see with your own two eyes exactly what's going on here. How this promoter in Eddie Hearn is playing with us, man. He's playing with us. He's putting that carrot in front of us and dangling it and like, yo, y'all gonna keep on trying to get this carrot up. Nope, nope. Every time they make a fight, well, maybe we'll fight Wilder next. The next fight comes. No, we're not thinking about Wilder. We're going to go fight this person. Then we'll maybe give Wilder the next fight. The next fight comes. Then there's another. We're tired of it. At the end of the day, all Eddie Hearn really wants is for AJ, honestly, to face Tyson Fury. I think that he is stalling. He is stalling. He is stalling. He's giving Tyson Fury an opportunity to prove himself and to see where he is to possibly make that fight. Because trust and believe, ladies and gentlemen, the Tyson Fury fight for AJ takes precedence over the Deontay Wilder fight. And it's not because it's such a bad fight. It's because, for one, Deontay Wilder is much more dangerous. And two, in the UK, Tyson Fury is an icon to his gypsy following. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Like, it's just starting to get mind-boggling. It's to a point where we know what it is now. You know, y'all can debate the UK fans. Y'all can debate the American fans or whatever the case may be all day until the cows come home. But, yo, y'all cannot keep constantly giving excuses for this guy. He's clear. I mean, he wants to become undisputed, right? Hashtag undisputed. He has the WBA, right? He has the IBF, huh? Now he's going for the WBO when he defeats Joseph Parker, who's a fight that, you know, I don't even think Joseph Parker, like I told y'all before, I don't think he should even be champion. I thought he lost to Hughie Fury, and I thought he lost to Andy Ruiz. But however, he'll beat Joseph Parker, take the WBO, and after that, ladies and gentlemen, to become hashtag undisputed, you got to go through Deontay Wilder. You got to go through Deontay Wilder if Deontay Wilder makes it through Luis Ortiz, because I don't count that as a shoe-in for Deontay Wilder. So it's still, to me, just mind-boggling. You know what the people want. You know the fight to make. You know how big it is. You know it is. You know these things. And UK fans, y'all know it too. We ain't just talking out our ass over here in America, man. Y'all know what we talking about. This is crazy, man. You know, if Jerrell Big Baby Miller gets that fight, you know, hats off to him. He is a fellow American, and I can't sit back and act like, you know, that's the worst thing in the world. But it just stalls the Deontay Wilder fight again. And that's the thing, that's the tipping point for us, man. That's what y'all don't get. We could have been beyond this. We could have been moved on to something else. We could have been debating whether Deontay Wilder is the best heavyweight in the world or not right now. Like, we could be debating this. And let me explain something to a lot of folks. If Deontay Wilder defeats Luis Ortiz, like I heard a fellow uploader mention in one of his vids, if Deontay Wilder defeats Luis Ortiz, Deontay Wilder is the absolute #1 heavyweight. And I would love to have that debate/argument with any of y'all. Any of y'all. To expect future vids on that if Deontay Wilder eliminates Luis Ortiz. He will be the #1 heavyweight in the world. And I will be happy to prove it. Made man style. Real talk. But, you know, this here, more stalling, more bullshit. I don't even know if this is true. You know, Eddie Hearn is like, he's starting to become like Jello now, man. You can't pin him down to shit. Real talk. So to the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe to Twitter, Made Man 511, Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum, Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. Something is seriously wrong here, boxing fans, when we do not want the two best heavyweights supposedly in the world to fight each other. Something is seriously wrong here. When y'all are sitting back talking like promoters, oh, this person got to prove themselves, that person got to prove himself. You're talking about champions. You're asking the WBC champion to prove himself. If Charles Martin didn't have to prove himself, why the hell does Deontay Wilder? Riddle me that. Because in order for y'all to explain that, y'all got to talk about, oh, yeah, they just paid Charles Martin to come over here and lay down. You will have to concede that point. And if I'm wrong, put it in the comment section. So to the next video. Peace out.